All righty. Hey, and it was good. Matt Jollywally, who's not with us right now, I don't think, was asking about his friend. How does he? He's young. Uh, how does he? Do that? How does he accumulate wealth? And the thing is, let's say that I've been teaching my kids. I say my kids, my college kids. Where's my darn pen? Where's Daddy's pen? Dang it! Oh, it's on the floor. Sorry. It's really quite easy, isn't it? So, wealth accumulation is simple, but not easy. Right? Simple, but not easy. It's just, it is very, very, very simple. It's just not easy because people try to overcomplicate. Have y'all noticed I a lot of times overcomplicate stuff? No. No, we don't do that, do we? Yeah, we do. Especially us options traders, right? Because here's what we do. Here's how y'all started out, right? You found Tasty Trade. Y'all know that's how all y'all started. I bet you 99% of you go find Tasty Trade. And then you stay with Tasty Trade for 5 years. And then you realize something. And the realization was you have lost money. After 5 years. I did it the Tasty way. They say they're making all kinds of money. How come I'm not making money? It's a good question, right? Are we doing something wrong? Maybe we just didn't get it. I was the same way. I'm like, really didn't set the world on fire. So then we start looking for everything else. And we call this the SOS, the shiny object syndrome. And this one's got me a bunch of times. Shiny object syndrome. Show me something new. Show me something that I can, nice and shiny. How many of you over the weekend was reading about the Donald and his SPAC or whatever those things are? And you read about the SPAC, and I forget the symbol. I've been watching it too. And then it goes up from $10 to $175. And now it's back to 90 something last time I saw it, maybe 99 or so. And you're like, my God, if I'd just bought at 10 and put my whole account in, I could retire because I would be a multi-gazillionaire now. But you just don't know, right? I mean, that's why an Appalachian state can come in and defeat a Michigan. That's why a Louisiana Monroe can come in and beat a Alabama every now and then, right? They throw the Hail Mary and they get the big gain, right? But would you rather be Alabama or would you rather be Louisiana Monroe when it comes to football? Right? Which one would you rather be? So yeah, the people are going to, blind. Well, I say it all the time: blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. So you don't look for these lottery type returns, right? Where you low probability, but if it does hit, you make big. If not, you have YOLO and FOMO. You only lose once, fear of missing out, and so then your account goes from 50,000 to zero. And you got to start back over. So that's really, really hard, right? So wealth building is not simple. No, it's simple. It's just not easy. Okay. And the problem is, it's simple, not easy, but also tell you something else about it. Number two, just not easy. There are those out there who seek to, and you remember this from your Sunday school lesson, who seek to kill, steal, and destroy you and everything that you got. Right? So there's something or someone out there that wants to either kill you, steal from you, or destroy you and everything that you got. You always going to have that. Doesn't matter where you turn. Somebody somewhere is out to kill, steal, destroy. Now, what that actually may be your broker or your financial advisor. Right? The people that's supposed to be looking out for you and your money. But what happens is, it's like, I can remember me and Mama went to SunTrust Bank a couple years ago, and they had a quote unquote financial advisor there. And I'll never forget what he said. He was going to put my mama in a certain fund. And I said, I just don't think that's a right one. I'd rather put her here. Here's what he says to our face. But, Mr. Gaines, I don't make money if you put your mama in that fund. Whoa. How about this, pal? I don't give a crap or rat's ass if you make a profit or not, dude. He actually told us that, but I don't make money if you go into that fund. Oh, so you're putting us in a fund, not because it's the best fund for my mama, but you're putting it in because you're going to get a little commission on it. I see. All right, so now we got two principles of wealth, right? We know that it's simple, it's just not easy. And all the time that you're trying to build it, you got the market, you got brokers, financial advisors, financial planners. Yeah, the market, right, is looking to destroy your wealth. There are those in there that are hoping that you trade today because they know, based on your past performance, that we are going to take money from you and give it to our kids. That's how they view you coming into the market. So when everybody and their mama gets a stimmy check, the professionals go, ha, ha, there's blood in the water. Chum, 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 chum. Right? The water is nice. Let's go in and let's kill all the little fish and let's have Thanksgiving in July. That's what they're looking at. All right, so the third thing, let's give you a third principle of wealth here. Third principle is this: most will never, let me put that in all caps, never attain or obtain, let's say this, FU money. Now, what is that? That is to where you could say to your boss, you know what, pal, I've had it. I love you. You've been nice to me. You gave me a watch when I was there for 20 years, but I will see you at the beach. See you, dude. And most people never get there. You never get there. Just a hard fact of life. Most will never get there. Why? Because they're not willing to do what is necessary at an early age to get to that point. So sometimes, you know, if you're like me and was not born with the silver spoon in your mouth, Lord knows I didn't have the silver spoon. Y'all know my story of my mama working 2 jobs, coming from the car factory and working as a waitress, just so we'd have something to eat at night. And if mama hadn't brought home fried chicken and barbecue with tater logs from the barbecue restaurant she worked at after slaving in a other job for, 8 to 10 hours a day, then little Bobby and my little sister, we wouldn't have nothing to eat. My daddy was off. Mama told me this the other day. She said that, your daddy always had to have a new pair of shoes anywhere we were going. And I was like, really? She said, yeah. She said, and we didn't have money to get y'all shoes. But daddy, he had to get him some new shoes. So I didn't have that silver spoon. Now, if you got the silver spoon, that's great. I don't. So what you got to do is you got to make sacrifices early in life, right? So that we can take care of ourselves later in life. Now, what if you die? Well, yeah, you missed that. Kapoom, kapoom, right? So crap, I should have YOLO'd and FOMO'd when I was 20. Okay. But if you look on average, most of us are going to live into our 70s, maybe even our 80s. Heck, they're saying now, a few years with some of these modern medical wonders we got, we may easily be getting to 120. Can you imagine? That'd be like 70 more years for me. So I got 70 more years to sit here and come in every day with y'all and we'll trade together. That'll be fun if we make it that long, right? So we got to make a few sacrifices now. So what we're trying to do, so I know all y'all have come from Tasty Trade or from somewhere else and you have been sorely disappointed. So you come over here and I've showed you everything in the book. I've thrown it all at you. Y'all know calendars, y'all know poor men's this and that and whatever. Y'all know Y'all can do straddles, strangles, all this kind of garbage, and broken wing butterflies. Y'all know it all. Y'all, there's not a single trade you cannot put in your arsenal. We got black swan hedges, we got aims and beams and canes, and we got all these little acronyms. We got it all. You got it all over here. Now what you got to do is this. Now you got to fight the FOMO and the YOLO, and you just got to have a strategy. Coach Saban going into the locker room before halftime of the Tennessee game, which was our anniversary. Beth and I got married on the date of the Alabama-Tennessee game. I don't know why I did that. I had to have updates during the wedding and during the reception afterwards. And we lost when I got married. Fortunately, we hadn't lost to him in 15 years. But what Nick Saban said, and he's a champion, by the way, Nick said, going into the locker room, he says, I'd like to see us be a little more balanced. Now, the problem is Nick knows that all these little high school guys who thinks their butt don't stink and they're God's gift to football are watching the Tide on Saturdays, right? They're playing the video games or Madden, whatever, and they're rapping on the side. God only knows what to do. And they're watching the ball game. And it's not exciting to run the ball. It's just not, 3 yards and a cloud of dust. We've heard of that, right? It's just not. But Nick knows that the kids on the sideline are watching the passing game. Oh, they want the 80-yard bombs and they want the flea flickers and all the exciting darts that goes to football. But what those people on the wide receivers and all don't realize is all of the good stuff happens right on that line of scrimmage where you got them big old 300 and something yard, pound guys going against each other. That allows this little prissy wide receiver over here to go out and to catch the ball because of this wonderful job that they're doing by giving, Mr. Quarterback plenty of time to toss the ball. Problem is, this right here doesn't look sexy. So Nick saw that, hey, we're passing too much and we need to be more balanced, so we need to run too. That's not sexy. So a lot of what you and I do is really not that sexy because we come in every day and go, what can I trade today? I got to trade. No, sometimes you need to run. Sometimes you just need to run the dang ball. How many times have I looked at Alabama and said, run the dang ball? It's 3rd and 2, for God's sakes. You telling me you can't knock, Tennessee off the line, get 2 freaking yards? It doesn't have to always be this beautiful 70, 80, 90-yard bomb. So it should be boring sometimes. And a lot of times I come to y'all and I go, well, I'm sorry, y'all, this is too boring. Y'all probably going to get bored coming here. No, don't get bored, right? Just do it. Run the ball, pass the ball. Now, what are our passes? What are our runs and our passes? So right now we got some run plays and we got some pass plays. So what are the runs? I mean, the go-tos. What are the go-tos where you go, if I need a yard, I'm going to put this trade on? Well, probably our 60-day micro strategy, right? Where we said with 10 delta put. And that's a go-to run, isn't it? It's a go-to run. Now, what are some of our passes? It's a good question. I would say that this aim that we got is a pass right now because some of y'all scared to death. I'm a little nervous myself. I got 270 something shares of TQs, and I've got everybody in the world telling me I can't hold that long term. The experts are saying I can't do it. And I'm basically saying, hold my Yoo Hoo. What's this? Because I don't drink these. Hold my Yoo Hoo, Jack. And let's see if we can't do it. So maybe that is a pass play. We're trying it out, right? But boring is actually good. Because how many times we heard defense wins games? I'm not so sure about that anymore. I don't think it's as big as thing. Defense, bored. Let's get the ball back. Let's get the punt. But defense does help a lot. So how do we play defense? So we got run plays, we got pass plays, and then we play a little defense. Well, what's our defense? Well, we got the black swan hedge. That's not sexy, is it? Then we got the VIX hedge. That's sure not sexy because most of the time we're losing on that, and it's going to be up to 3% of our net lick every year. So everybody runs that, and they go, well, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of losing it. and then they take it off, and then all of a sudden they need it. So let's play a little defense. Let's do a little running. Let's do a little passing, and we'll do a special team every now and then. What's a special teams play? Now, this is where you keep from getting yourself all bored out. Right? Here, put you some special teams in there. What is your special team? Okay, that's your little fun trades. Take maybe 5 to 10% of your portfolio and do your little fun trades. Oh, Bobby, so you tell me it's okay for me to do the Donald Trump SPAC, pack, clack, clack, whatever it is? Sure. Knock yourself out with a little bit of money. So you're telling me it's okay to not trade a major index or something, and I can do something in Snapchat? Sure. Do a limited amount of your buying power for your little fun trades. Kind of keeps you engaged, right? Your engagement trades. So get your little fun stuff in there. So now you really got it, right? So you got running, you got passing, you got defense, you got your special teams, and we're throwing the hot dog launcher out on the field so that we can throw hot dogs into the stands and potentially kill somebody and put their eye out with a hot dog. That's a hot dog. So you got it all. Now you need just your adoring fans who will be your spouse, your family, your children, your grandchildren that'll say, look at Papa and Mama, look how they did. Look at old Matt. Matt came in, he played defense, special teams, he ran the ball, he passed the ball, he was balanced, and he at times would take out the hot dog shooter and shoot somebody in the face with a hot dog. You got it all. You got it all. Now you just got to put it together. Now the hard part is this, right? Because I'm taking JoJo to practice football today. So we got football practice. Let me tell you what the little shit did over the weekend. Here's what he did. So we went to the high school football game Friday night because my son was playing in the middle school band. They got to play with the high school. It's a big deal. So all 7 of this was their first game for the littles. And y'all know my littles, age 5, age 6, and age 7. We were all there. And apparently after it was over, our church had a 5th quarter, you know, where everybody goes, and we went to that. We were dumb enough to go. I go, well, let me make an appearance. So my church will think I actually like the people that go to my church. So we went to the 5th quarter and we hung out a while. So we get home. So my kids are dead tired, right? They just, oh, Daddy, I'm so tired. I can't blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So then we wake up Saturday morning. Now, fortunately, our game is not at 9 like it usually is. It's at 10. We get to sleep an hour later. So we go all the way to Carrollton, Georgia, and we play the Carroll County team. So we got Bowden versus Carroll County. And JoJo is the fastest person on his team against Carroll County. Okay. And I noticed something. First quarter, no JoJo. Coach not playing JoJo. Second quarter, no JoJo. Third quarter, there wasn't no JoJo. And I'm sitting there going, surely to God, they're going to put the fastest kid in the, you know, and I'm not that parent that goes, if you don't play my kid, well, let me tell you something. I'm just going to come down there and I'm going to whoop your ass. And I'm not doing stuff like that. Okay. But I noticed JoJo's not in the ball game. He didn't play at all. So I'm sitting here going, I have wasted an hour or 2 or 3 of my life getting ready, get shower. Well, I didn't take a shower. I think I just did what my mama would refer to as a whore bath. And we go to the ball game. And to watch little kids that ain't even my kid. Well, my kid is sitting on the thing. Now, instead of me being a, you know, butthole and go talking to the coach, I got out of there. I was kind of embarrassed. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was putting my head down like, I hope nobody talks to me and goes, how come JoJo didn't play? I was angry. I was ready to get out there. Not angry at our coach, not angry at whatever. But here was the deal. So JoJo gets in the car. I said, what the hell happened after JoJo? I said, why didn't you play? He said, coach said, go in, JoJo. And here's what JoJo said. I'm too sleepy. Oh, shit. He's too sleepy. He's too sleepy. So then I had to go and I said, let me tell you something, pal. When your number is called, you be ready. I said, because here's the problem. Your coach is not going to call your number no more because he knows you are a quitter. You quit on your team and you chose not to participate. I wouldn't have played you little nappy tail either, little brat. So JoJo has practice today. So when JoJo goes to practice, he knows now when your number is called, son, you only get so many times that your number gets called. Tom Brady's receivers have been called over 600 times now for touchdown catches. Can you imagine going, I don't want to go in this time, Tom, I'm sleepy. Oh my gosh. I said, listen, dude, you brought shame and dishonor upon the family. Now I know y'all are saying that's probably a little rough and everything. I did it in a loving way, trust me. I said, but when your little happy tail goes to football practice today, let me tell you what I'm going to tell coach. I'm going to say, run him, coach. Run his butt. What else am I saying? JoJo has to apologize to the coaches and to the, he has to apologize to the coaches and to the team and tell them, I'm sorry, I let y'all down. Because that's exactly what he did. He dropped the ball. Your number is only going to be called so many times in life. And when your number is called, by God, you get up and you carry that ball. Now think about it. We've been doing this class for almost a year. I have missed, other than my vacations, which forgive me for taking vacation, but I have missed, I think, 2 classes. 2. I had a doctor's appointment one day or something. I think we've missed 2 other than my vacation, right? We have done a pretty doggone good job. Oh, someone from Kentucky calling me. Matt, is that you? Of being here, right? Because every day my number's called and I go in. I try to be as prepared as I can be. So what's going to happen is a lot of y'all will get frustrated and you'll quit. So what you'll do is you'll say, I'm not going to listen to the market measure segment of Tasty Trade again because I didn't make money there, but that's where 80% of the gold is found at Tasty Trade is in the market measure section. Then you're going to say, well, you know what? I know what Bobby's going to say today, so I'm going to skip that too. That black glass wearing bastard, right? And then you'll go, well, I'll go for this shiny object here, and you go for something new. I've already been to the shiny object places. I've been everywhere y'all thinking about going. I've been to Tasty Trade. I've been to the, what's the one Matt's in now? I've been to the, Theo Trade. I've been to the Theo Trade. I've been to the option alphas. I've studied, option this and option that, and God knows this and God knows that, and the lazy this and the lazy that. I've been to all of them. I've read all of them. And what I've hopefully done is taken from them the best stuff, right? So that we can put the best stuff together into a strategy so that you and I aren't just throwing Hail Marys. So now we got a strategy, right? Strategy. We know what to do in a mechanical, and our strategy should be as mechanical as possible. Remember, we try to take the art out of it and we try to replace it with science as much as we can. Now, you and I could both start the same strategy today with the mechanics that we've set up, and chances are that we'll have different returns slightly, right? But wealth building is much more about behavior than it is math. So behavior greater than math. You know the math. You know what the math is. We come here every day and we say, "Wait, what's our deal?" We sell options, right? That's what we normally do. We're option sellers because we figured out that that's better than buying them, right? That's the more strategic approach. The Hail Mary is buying options, and we do it with the odds in our favor. So we never want to do things that are not in our favor. And then what do? We rinse and repeat. So now you got to just get to the point where you go, okay, by gosh, I'm going to go in and I'm just going to run the strategy. We know all the stuff that we can do, pick strategy, stay with it as much as you can. So you need to do what most people won't, because most people won't do this. Oh my gosh, so we've got 160 something people. When I opened the room up to everybody, everybody was excited. Oh man, I'm gonna come in there and I'm just gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna do this. And then I look and we got Ken. Rod has been awesome. Jim has been here since the get-go. get-go. Dwayne's been here since the get-go. Stacy has been faithful. Drew's been faithful. Matt Jollywally's been faithful. Joe's coming in. So y'all are here out of 150 flipping people, right, that try to learn to put together a strategy. But what happened is by the time they join, they said, well, that's a lot of work. I got to watch videos and I got to tune in every day and I've got a job and I got it. It's rough. Life is rough. Life is rough. That's why there's very few that attain wonderful results, because most people are saying, I'm too sleepy. I don't want to go in, catch the ball, play a little defense. I'm just too tired, coach. Let me sit on the playground. I'll go play on the playground while my mom and daddy's across the thing wondering why I'm not playing ball. Because you're too dang sleepy. So the ones of y'all, I mean, it's like preaching to the choir, right? Y'all are the choir. Y'all are here. So that's good. And hopefully you're learning something, each and every day. If nothing else, just the discipline to get up and try it every day. Right? So good stuff. Now, what are y'all talking about here? Good sir. Trading is easy. Making money is hard. That's exactly the same thing, right? Trading is easy. A monkey can put on a trade. Anybody can do that. Making money is hard. Exactly. Yeah. So good sermon, Bobby. You gave your daughter the same lecture, but at the same time, that's it, man. People probably saying, "Oh, Bobby, you shamed your son in front of." I didn't shame my son in front of anybody. He got in the car, and then I told him how disappointed I was not in him, but in his behavior. You're going to have to change that behavior, young man, if you're going to be a success in life. Bobby, it's just football. No, it ain't but football. It's whatever you go into. Whatever you go into, or whatever you do, if you're not going to put your all into it, then just don't do it. Just don't do it. My gosh. It really does take the discipline of when the coach calls your name. Are you ready? Are you ready to go in? That's one of probably the most difficult things of me growing up. I had a tough upbringing. I mean, it's good in a lot of ways, but as far as financially, it was really, really rough. And then, you get to high school and something clicked in me. I was a D student. My mama cried because I wouldn't do my homework, and she just about gave up on me, but she didn't give up on me. So mama, all of a sudden it just clicked with me one day. I'm telling y'all, I went from a D student to an A student. And I wouldn't make a B for nothing. Never even thought about it. I started putting my all into stuff. I had people around me that believed in me. You really need to surround yourself with those people. I was thinking the other day. So my boss at my job told me, Bobby, you do perfect work, great work, superior ratings. Ha 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 ha. And he laughed. And he said, you have maxed out on your salary. And I was like, the hell I have. You watch this. Hold my Yoo Hoo. You hold my Yoo Hoo. And that's when I told Beth, I said, Beth, I think I need to go get me some more education so I can, do better and da 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 da. Sure enough, Beth was good enough to believe in me and not to say, no, you can't do it. We got 5 kids. You're going to have, you're going to miss a lot of nights and all kinds of stuff. And I put my all into that, put everything I had into it. And so after a year and a half, got my master's. And then I was on the road and I said, I was scared to tell Beth, I want to go to work for my PhD. She didn't poo-poo that. She wasn't exactly happy, but she didn't poo-poo the dream. Then I go and do that. And by doing all that, I was able to secure a much better job, position, career with the federal courts that I've been with forever, but a much, much higher paying job. I was happy where I was. And if I'd not, been told, don't let anyone ever tell you you've maxed out. Don't everyone ever max you out. God, the worst thing ever. But it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm so glad that he said, you are maxed out, and then giggled. It's worse to tell me that I maxed out, but then to max out with a little giggle in the back. Oh, hell to the no. No. I have not maxed out. You watch me fly, Jack. You watch me fly. That's what I did in high school. And it was it's kind of horrible, because I would put myself so much into everything. So while everybody else was, at college, partying on a Thursday or Friday night, I was working an 80-hour job and marching in the college band. Not only was I marching in the college band, but we tried out for solos. I got a solo my first year at Jackson State University. The upperclassmen were, how shall I say, pissed off because this little, freshman comes in, he gets a solo. How come I don't get a solo? Well, because you're out doing this and that, and I am taking it hour by hour, ready for that, for that test to come up when they sit behind, a blanket and they listen to someone play and they don't know who this is. So they didn't know it was a freshman, fat slob, black glass wearing bastard coming into Jack State that was trying out for solo. They just knew that the tone was perfect. They knew that the sound was perfect. And they knew that someone cared and didn't just say, oh, let me see, how's it go? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Those perfect performances that I gave didn't just happen by me just picking up the music and doing it. It was a lot of blood, sweat, tears. People tell me this day, the old folks around here, I can remember I used to sit out in my porch and listen to you play that trumpet. And can you imagine how horrible it sounded at times? But then after hour of doing it, danged if it didn't start playing good. And darned if it didn't give me a scholarship in the University of Kentucky and to Jacksonville State University. You do those things. So now I can't get my daughter she's 17 years old. I can't get her to take her learner's license test. She won't do it. So I'm sitting there going, Abby, study and let's go get you learner's license. No, Daddy, I don't want to do it. Okay. You're going to be 24 years old and your mama's going to be driving you around because I ain't going to be doing it. Come on, little, get out there and do something. So I got to take the certified financial planner exam. I'm not sure if I want to. I'm actually kind of nervous about it. But I am reading and studying, and oh my gosh, it's just the most horrible stuff. Estate planning and wills and all this kind of garbage. I'm like, I have to deal with that. Because if I'm ever, were to go out and put me a shingle out that I'm a CFP, you think I care about all this stuff and the insurances? No. That ain't what I'm going to be. I love the investing part of it, right? I understand the need to be proficient in some things. That's kind of why I hate chess. Oh my gosh, I keep playing this chess thinking I'm gonna get better and I haven't got better yet. So I can either quit or I can say, I'm gonna put the time in that's necessary to be, I don't think anyone should ever tell me I should max out at chess. I think if I keep going, if I keep playing, hey, I may be rated 500 right now. And I know y'all laughing at that going, Bobby, you're terrible. But don't tell me I can't become a grandmaster because I'm just stupid enough to believe I can. I really am. Just dumb enough to think I could do it. All right. So let's see what the Marquette is doing. All right. We always look at our first 15-minute range, 28 to 48, 20 perfect. We are above VWAP. We are above the overnight high. We're above the hourly mid-band. We're above this little pivot point, which I have no idea what it is. And we're above the overnight low. I always like to see what's down below. Is there anything that could catch a falling knife? We got a lot of things, right? We got this, we got this, we got this, we got this, and we got this that could catch the knife that falls. We got this even. This is a very bullish day. What's our AD? 97. Not that bullish. It's kind of a blah day, right, with our AD. And we can see now our AD is starting to just kind of trickle on down. Okay. Wouldn't surprise us then based on that, see us pop back into this area at some point today. We are above all three of the alligators. We got little fractals all over the place, and volume is, what volume is. Okay. So we're up big today. All right, got it. Second thing we do, we always go to our big green monster. And let's see how our big green monster is doing in the ES today. ES. Oh, come on. It's like my old computer, right? Remember how slow that one was? And the problem is I need to restart this thing every now and then. I've been keeping it open. Come on, baby. Here we go. Okay. We saw a lot of boogity right around the 50% line. Surprise, surprise. Here's a point of control. And I'll be dang. Look where the high is. Right there. 45.59. So what does that mean? Well, that means for the coming day, if all things equal, looking at this, what am I? Well, if it goes up here, it's going to be overbought. So if it goes up here, I'm going to be a little bit to the bearish side. But right now, it is still in the fair value line on a line that we drew on October the 1st. And it's at the point of control. Isn't it cool that the point of control and the upper value of our fair value line is right at the same place? Isn't that cool? And isn't it right cool that the volume profile point of control is right at the 50% line of our market profile? So what am I? I'm probably neutral. Probably neutral. I don't even know. I say slightly bearish, maybe slightly bearish to come back down to the point of control. But if it goes up here, I'll be even more bearish. Kind of crazy, right? So that's kind of where I think, I like what I see. The market's just running as the market is running. All right. Now, what else do we look at? Well, we got this great little thing called the skew driver. So if we go closest to 30 days out, which looks like it's 28, we could do the 32. And I'm looking for the 20-point SPX spread, put spread, that trades at $5.20, because I want to see how far away that is from the current price of SPX. So right now it's telling us it's about, 42 or so. I'm waiting to see if that'll change to 520, 42 going once, 42 going twice, sold for 42. All right, so let's book it. Let's book it, Dano. So here is 10, 25, 21, and it's 42. Pretty much the same thing as it was yesterday. And I shared this, so hopefully y'all have all got this now that you can say, so look at this, y'all. We're just hanging out. So the skew tells me a skew is normally within the 25 to 35 range. So we're still, we're still outside of this, which means we are neutral to slightly bullish here. Slightly bullish. On my chart, I'm neutral to slightly bearish. But here I'm slightly bullish. Now, it could go from 42 to 96. It could. But I expect this at some point in the future to revert back to the mean. The only mean reverting asset that or instrument that we have other than the volatility, other than VIX. Okay, so we're looking good. Questions on that? Okay, so we got this. So we know what our assumptions are. All right, so now we got our assumptions. So let's just see how our forest is doing. All right, so let's go and look how the forest is doing. So if I'm neutral to slightly bearish to slightly bullish on the other one, I'm pretty doggone neutral, right? So I'm neutral here. That's good. 24 SPY weighted deltas is not bad. I have great theta of 76. That means I'm not experiencing huge theta burn from my hedges that we know happens, right? So even with the Black Swan hedges, I still have a great positive theta. Not only that, I have something that is probably the most cherished thing in the portfolio, and that is positive Vega. Okay, so how are we doing today? Okay, we're up $285. That's great. So everything's looking good. Oh, and I did want to show you this too, because we need to look at this more. Okay, so and I've used this account to experiment and to do all kinds of different stuff. We've done, horrible way to run a portfolio, horrible. But I'll try to see if I can keep this portfolio at least steady for the remainder of the year, just to kind of see how it does. So we want to see how we want to do with in comparison to the S&P 500. That's what everybody does. Oh, and I didn't tell y'all this either, but after we left on Friday before the market closed, I went ahead and evened everything up to 90%. So what I did is I used my AIM rebalancing, and I went at 90%. Now it's changed a little bit. Everything has gone up since I bought it, which is good. And I thought, here's what I'll do. I'll keep, 90% in TQQs and TMF, and I'll do 10% cash. Now, the problem with that, I don't have a lot of options buying power right now. I think I got $2,000 worth of buying power. So I do not have a lot of buying power today. So, you got to watch that. So what would I do if there was a trade I needed to make and I didn't have the buying power? I'd close a few shares of TMF, of the triple 20-year bond. I'd close a few shares of that and use that to do whatever I needed to do. So, keep in mind that that's fluid. But so far, since we started this, these two underlines are up $2,540 in how many days? Well, we started this on, let's make sure we know the date. I was on vacation here, so we started the 15th. So we've been in here 10 days. So we're averaging about, $250 a day, right? In profit, which is really, really, really good. So how are we doing against the portfolio comprised entirely of the S&P 500? So I did this on Friday after we got finished too. We're up 2.3%. We've made $1,044 in the overall net lick since we started, right? And I need to keep more tabs on this. So we're up 2.3%. And then I created a portfolio that said, hey, I'm just going to do 100 shares of a portfolio. We're going to go 99%, as much SPY as we could hold, and see how we're doing. So that portfolio, as of Friday, these are Friday's numbers, is up 594. So we've almost doubled the performance. Well, not quite double, 1.31%. We're up a little over 1,000. And that's kind of good to see, right? Because I know Sosnoff, Tom, hates a benchmark. He hates benchmarking himself against anything. Not sure why, but I like knowing what the market overall. I could, if you just want to buy the market, how are you doing? Because if we can't outperform the market, then we really should just buy the market. So everybody understands that, right? If we can't outperform the market, we should just buy the market. All right. So here we're up 277 on the day. Now, I wanted to add one other thing to Arthur. I know what you're saying. Oh, Bobby, you're complicating it even more. No, but I just thought about it over the weekend. What do you do if it's saying we're about to have an imminent drop? Say that the screwdriver is at 10 and the big green monster say we're overbought, and you go, wow, big move may be coming. What do you do? Does anybody know? We've never talked about this together. Does anybody know what a protective collar is? I know what that is.
Sure do it all the time.
Yep. So Ken knows what that is, right? So what it is if you need to go into a defensive stance on your shares, then here's what you can do. Now we're doing this anyway to we're doing half of it, right? So protective collar, you've got shares of TQQQ. All right, so the shares are what the shares do, and you're afraid that maybe the shares are going to crash, and you don't want to have to experiment with that. And you're like, well, is there a way that I can get just a little bit of temporary protection? Well, certainly there is. So what you can do is, let's just assume that we have 100 shares of TQQ, right? We got 100 shares of TQQ. So what you could do is sell a call above, right? Sell a call above. And now we're doing that, right? And so if you just did that, that's called a covered call. And you notice that I'm doing covered calls on this account. I'm a big fan. We haven't done a lot together. I'm a big fan of covered call, no problem with that. But here's what the caller does, y'all. So instead of just selling the call, we're going to add something to that. And instead of just selling the call, we're also going to buy a put. Aha, how about that? So what does that do? What does that look like? Let's see, can I model that in Tastyworks? Let's say SPY. I think they let you do a covered call, don't they? Is that one of their things? Let's see if we go trade, see what all they give us over here. They give us a covered call, covered. Hey, there's a short call covered. This one could do, what's a short call covered? Okay, I guess I got that. Guess that makes sense. So that would be me buying 100 shares. There you go, buy to open, and then selling a call above. Okay. So then what if you buy a put below? Let's see if we can model this thing out. Buy a put below. All right, so now we've bought 100 shares and we're buying a put and we're selling the call. All right, hopefully this will work. Let's see what this looks like. And let's go curve and analysis. See what we got here. So we got the put and curve. Sure, that's exactly the picture that I wanted. Let's see, single uses CO expression, default analysis. I'm just looking here to see what it looks like. Anyway, trust me on this. Here's what we're trying to do though. So we're long shares, right? So that's long. We're short calls, short up here, and you're long a put. I bet I could do it in taste over here better. Here's what I need to do. When we do this, I've already got shares. So let's go to trade. Let's pretend, I guess we could do it at the 4 days. So I've already, TQQQ. And let's see. So here we are with TQQQ. So we've already sold the calls, right? Crap, I'm in the money already. Good timing, Bob. Way to go, Bob. All right, so let's say if we were, though, to buy a put down here. We'll buy a put down here. Let's see if we can see what this looks like. So we're buying a put, analyze the trade. So we can go TQQ. We don't want to do vol steps. We want to do expiration 1 because they're both in the same expiration. Now, hide simulations, and we're going to go single symbol. Let's see what a single symbol looks like. Okay. And so we've got, let's see what it's got. Oh, I got to go show all now. Ta-da! So now we've got our buying a put, we've got our short call, and we've got our long 255 shares of stock in TQQQ. All right, let's see if this looks good. So what we're trying to do is to alleviate some of the downside that we would have on this little thing here. Let me see. Let me do all expression just to make sure it doesn't show me anything else. It shouldn't. Okay. But what we're trying to do is to put in a little thing that kind of helps us to the downside. Okay, so it's a little bit of what we're doing is trying to pause it. Yeah, are you limiting your gain to the upside by selling a call against your shares? Yes. Uh-oh. And I know why this isn't big enough too. I know something. Right? If I've got 2 here, I need 2 here, right? So I'm set there, much better. Everybody see the difference? Watch this on the downside. See the downside with 0. Now see the downside with 1. There's 1. And there's 2. Now, that's more like it. I was wondering why. It didn't kind of look right. So we're doing a little bit of damage control on the downside so that our losses won't be as extreme as if the stock itself went by, because we'll have what? Long puts to the downside. So we're putting in a protective collar, limits us to the downside, right? Limits our profit to the upside, but limits to some extent our losses to the downside. And another thing to throw this off a little bit is this would work great if my shares were 200, right? But I've got 255 shares. So, you know, you're seeing why it's going down a little bit further than it normally would if this was just 200 shares. So we need to add that to our arsenal. So if we get to a point that we go, oh my gosh, I'm scared, which we shouldn't be scared, right? Because we think we've got a well thought out plan. But if you do, if you ever get to a point you say, okay, I just want to freeze it. I need to freeze my shares. Limit your upside, but also limit your losses to the downside by buying a put on the downside. Any questions on that at all? It's a great little strategy, and we've never had to whoop it out before, but we've never actually been as involved in shares as we are now. So we've got a lot of shares of TQQ. If I ever get to a point that I think that I need to limit something to the downside, then sell calls above. If we got 200 shares, I'd sell 2. If I want to, buy 2 puts below. Got it? That's the only other thing that I wanted to add to our thing. All right, so let's see what we should do today. All right, so now we've got our full arsenal on our strategy, on our sweet butt strategies, ready to go. So we are delta positive, which is not too much. We've got wonderful theta. We've got wonderful vega. We're up now $434 on the day. Ta-da! Keep on going, baby. Maybe we'll come back and we'll be up 800. So let's analyze our portfolio just to make sure if the world goes to crap, if Biden wakes up and does something strange, let's make sure that we're going to be okay. So we're going to test our hedges. Vol step. Now, a lot of you may say, Bobby, how are you basically going and adjusting this up to 15%? How do you know? Well, I'll look at what I think the VIX or volatility will be on the down move 20%. So if currently we're at 14.46% volatility, right, which is low. Well, let's just see what the VIX is. So it says volatility in ES is 14.46. That should be really, really close to what the VIX is. Let's see what VIX is. VIX is probably what, 15 or 514? Yeah, 1523. So it's close, right? That's what we're looking at. So VIX is about 15 here. So I'm thinking on a 20% move that we're going to be closer between that 60% and 74%. How do I kind of know that? Because I've been through them before, right? I know that we were at 80% on a 35% down move back in March. I know kind of where this thing goes, and I'm using this to approximate what the VIX will be. That's why I've got that moved up to 15. All right, so let's say single portfolio and simulated. I want to hide my simulations. I just want to show my position. Okay, now single symbol, and this is ES. So now on a 20% down move in the markets, on a, just sub 50,000 count, we're going to be up 127 to 175,000. So that looks really, really good, right? I'm happy about that. But how does my entire portfolio look? Okay, so to do that, you go hide simulations, single symbol, and you go to portfolio, by the way. Now how do you look on a 20% down move? So now I'm going to be up 48 to 90,000, just depending on where the volatility gets to on the 20% move. So do I need any more hedges now? No, I do not. No hedge needed. I have all the hedges that I need. So there's nothing for me to do. Now, the only thing that you might want to look forward about is this. The only problem is I've got some ES positions moving out in a couple of days, right? So I've got these 10 that are moving out. The 2600s and the 2700s are moving out. So you kind of want to look ahead, right? And kind of make sure that you're going to be okay. So what if I lose those 2600s and 2700s? Where are those at? 2600s, 27. Here they are, 5 and 5. That should be it. So if we lose those, how am I looking? Now on a 20% move, I'm only up 8,000 to 40,000. So even when these come off, I'm still adequately protected. Plus, I need to look at something else. Now, if I were not, let's say I were not, let's take this down to 0. Yeah, let's say you opened it up and you go, oh my gosh, Bobby, on a 20% down move, I'm going to be down $50,000. I'm going to be wiped out. Okay, then I would go over here and say, okay, I got some figuring to do. So I've got a harvest of 6 short puts in our black swan hedge. Everybody with me? I've got a harvest that should be triggering probably before the close of the day. But if I wanted to make it stronger, all I got to do is go ahead and fill that. So if I needed this today, hey, get the protection, right? Move that up to 25 cents and fill it. So those are the top things that you got to start doing, is going, okay, I got to look ahead. I got to make sure that, that life is going to be good if we get that move down. What can I do? Can I harvest something? Can I do whatever? And worst case scenario, and it's an updated day. So if you needed more protection, what could you do? You could go in and put in an entire tranche of a black swan hedge to beef that up. And why not on a day that you're up $450 to spend, a couple $100 as a hedge if you need it. Now, I'm in a really good place today. I do not need the hedge. And I'm about to make my hedge even stronger when this little puppy is going to fail, because I'm about to sell. I'm about to buy back 6 of these short options, take risk off, and make my wall, my black swan hedge wall, much, 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 much stronger when that happens. So isn't that cool? So here's the cool, guys. Here's the cool thing, guys. I don't have to do nothing. Delta's fine. Theta's positive. Vega's good. I've checked my hedge, and I'm up $468 on the day. Cha-ching. I go back to bed. Or I can go to Walmart, or to, where else would I want to go today? Maybe the Dairy Queen, get me an ice cream. Someone asked me, I'm not going where, Beth? Why? What's wrong? Huh? Oh, she's telling me, hurry, we're going to somewhere. But yeah, someone asked me, how did I lose my 145 pounds that I'm down? I pretty much stopped going to the Dairy Queen every day, like I would do when I would go to my office. I stop and get me a, you stop by Taco Bell and get a breakfast, and you stop by Dairy Queen and get you ice cream on the way home. Yeah, it adds up. So you don't do that during the pandemic and everything. Next thing you know, you're down. I guess I'm down 85 pounds since the pandemic or something. Anyway, it's pretty good. All right. Questions, comments? All right. If not, I will see y'all tomorrow.